Hey, what is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do something here where I want to learn a technique for pulling crankbaits, and I want to learn it with you guys. I want to just start at the very bare bones of the technique and work our way through it, and that is planer boards. So I got a package from Church Tackle Company here. Not sponsored by them. I ordered this the other day, about a week or so ago, and it came, and we're going to open it up and take a look. And I ordered some planer boards, and we'll see what we got here. So let's see, we got. All right, so we got the. These are the TX12 mini planer boards, and I've never used a planer board before in any application at all. So the way these work, there's a port and a starboard board. So here's a port here, and here's a starboard here, so right and a left. And the way these wedges work, you can see it's got a wedge here. Let's open one up. Like I said, this is my first time ever even looking at a planer board of any sort. So I've seen guys use them. They're big, I know, obviously up north for walleyes. And I don't know how popular really they are for crappie. I don't see really anybody down the Lake of the Ozarks pulling planer boards. But here's a planer board. So what you can see is, from what I gathered, this wedge here, as you run it behind the boat and off to the side, this wedge is actually, pushing the planer board further to the outside. So it's a technique that is going to be able to help me keep my lines separated out. On top of that, also too, it's really going to help me be able to use the precision data trolling app and to determine the actual depth that I'm fishing. The way that works is that app, when I run just my straight line, my long lines off the boat pulling crankbaits, I really don't have an accurate idea of how far behind the boat I'm actually fishing. Even with line counter reels, and let me explain that to you. Your rod tip, the trolling app is actually from the point where your line hits the water, how deep your crankbait is running, how far back from that point. So if you're running from your rod tip, say 50 foot, and then it hits that, well, that first 50 foot, that has nothing to do with it. Well, what this is going to do is this is actually going to sit in the water, and my line is going to clip here, and then my line is going to clip back here. And I've also got, I ordered, let's see here, I ordered the flag system here as well too to go with these. So we'll put those on here in a bit. But back to the app. So what that's going to allow me to do is to really be able to determine the depth that I'm fishing at. Because think of this planer board as your boat. The line's going to come directly off this planer board straight into the water. So if I'm looking at my precision trolling app and I want to run my crankbaits, 100 foot behind the boat, I'm actually letting my line go out 100 foot. I'm stopping it. I'm clipping this planer board on, and then I'm letting it go out however far I want this planer board to be away from the boat. So that measurement, that distance from the crankbait to this planer board, that's the actual depth, and it's directly into the water. You don't have to worry about, am I 30 foot, 40 foot, whatever behind the boat. So we'll dive into that. Like I said, we're going to do a series here, and I'm just going to be completely transparent with you guys. We're going to look at these. We're going to put them in the water. We're going to, from the very first time I've ever ran these, we're going to see what all the hype's about. I see a lot of guys talking about them, and they're starting to come into the crappie world as well too. So like I said, I don't see anybody at Lake of the Ozarks doing it. So I got these here. Like I said, I got 2 ports, 2 starboards. Let's see what else I got here. I ordered also, this is the TX 005 stern planer. So what this will do is, let's take a look at this. The stern planer is going to go directly out the back of the boat. And it's going to be basically a same idea. You're going to run, if you want your crankbait to be 100 foot behind the boat, you're going to run 100 foot of line out, you're going to clip this on, and then run this out. So the idea behind this is going to pull directly behind the boat, just like this, with your line coming off like this. And this is going to be a basically a long line. It's going to act exactly the same. So what this does is, this you're able to run, what I've seen guys recommend is running this 200 foot behind the boat. You want to get it way behind the boat, because the idea behind it is, as you go across fish, especially in shallower water, those fish are going to spook, and those fish are going to move to the outside. Well, you've got planer boards up to, say, you can run these 100 foot to the side of the boat. So say, you know, I've got 3 on each side. I can run 100 foot. I can run one at 75 foot, and I can run one at 50 foot. So there I have a 25 foot spread, and I'm covering a wide, vast area of water. So as those fish spook and they go out, then you want that stern planer then to come in behind them, directly behind the boat, and those fish, as they come back in, those fish are going to, you know, then this stern planer would be, the idea behind it would be, that would be when these would, the stern planer would pick those up. So that's what I got there. I also got, here's my 4 more of my flag kits. Oh, looks like they threw a couple things in for me. Looks like we got a towel here and a pair of clippers. Church Tackle just threw those in for me. I appreciate that. And then we got some weights. So another thing I want to do that I've never done before is the Precision Trolling app has a I'll call it a feature. But what it is it's the 50+2 method. And the idea behind it is to get your crankbaits deeper than what they originally would just fish on their own. So on the app, on certain crankbaits, and I'll be honest with you, the bandits that I typically fish do not have that. But you can find a crankbait that runs very similar to a bandit, which I have done, and that would be the Berkeley Flicker Shad 9. That one has the 50+2 method. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to run your line out 50 foot, your crankbait, run it out 50 foot, and then you're going to clip this snap weight onto the line, and this is a 2-ounce weight, and that's where the 2 comes in. So you're 50 foot back, clip your 2-ounce weight, and then you look at the app, and then it tells you additionally what to run it out. So if you run it out to 60 foot, it'll tell you, and that's allowing you to go deeper than, say, the standard 18 foot, 17, 18 foot that a bandit or, you know, whatever your crankbait would run. So that's what I got. I'm looking forward to it. Let's dive in, and we'll put together one of these flag systems. We'll take a look at that, see how that gets you know, installed. I've watched some videos on it. Looks pretty easy. There is a QR code on the back here that we can scan for you know, instructions. I did see a couple videos, like I said, from Church Tackle, kind of going over it. Looks pretty easy, but the idea is, and I'll show you, that with the flag system, oh, and you need to tighten down obviously your line snap, so catch, or I'm not sure exactly what that's called, but yeah. So the idea is, as a fish takes it, because you're not going to see your rod tip vibrate, and really the rod tip isn't going to drop. So as a fish takes it, that flag system is going to be up, and that flag system will just go down. And it's supposed to be tension. There's supposed to be a tension setting as well on that. So let's dive into that, and then I'm gonna try to get out on the water in the next couple days. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna jump out there. We're gonna do it. We're gonna throw a video together and kind of see how it works out. So it looks to be a productive way to do it. So let's throw a flag system on and see what that takes. All right. So I went ahead and threw one of these together, threw the flag kit on. just to so I wasn't fiddling around, trying to figure it out. But super easy to put it together, and I'll go through it real quick here with you guys. Basically, the idea behind this is your line's going to come through this clip here, from the boat through the clip here, and then it'll go behind this pin. And all this pin does is it just keeps, if your line were to come loose, this pin, here running your line behind it, that's going to keep your board from coming loose and losing your board. So it's going to come through there, and then you're going to clip your line through this line clip as well too. You are going to leave a little bit of slack from the two line clips, and the reason being, the idea behind this is when you get a fish or you get weeds or anything on it, that flag is going to come down. So that's going to be your strike indicator right there. So you're going to be rolling through the water, and after you get a strike, or you get, like I said, weed, grass, anything like that, that flag is going to come down. So that's what you're going to keep your eye on. So like I said, super simple to put together. Let's go through one here real quick. Let's open it up and go through one. This is the port side, so the left side. They're both the same. It doesn't matter. So like I said, I've got two ports and two starboards. So basically, it's going to come with everything you need. You're going to have your, let's get into this here real quick. You're going to have your line clip here. Line clip, and I'm going to throw it in a bowl here so I don't lose stuff. I have a tendency to lose stuff. This is going to be your where your spring, this spring here attaches here, and there's different holes here, and that's the tension. That's to adjust the tension of your spring. So fishing a lighter fish like I do for crappie, you're going to want to be one of these front ones. I would assume if you're trolling for walleye or a bigger fish, you're going to want more tension, so you're going to be back a little bit further there. So you'll have that there. This is your the bar that the flag attaches to. This is the rod, I'll call it, that goes from the back of the board up to the flag there. And then you got your screws and everything here. Like I said, I'm going to throw this in a bowl because I tend to lose things, and I'm sitting outside, so more than likely I will lose a screw or something. And then of course you've got your flag. So the first thing you're going to do is you've got two washers, and everything's real small, so watch it with those. And then a lock nut. First thing you're going to want to do, so this is the port side. You can see how I've got it set up. You're going to take your flag, and on there's a countersunk area, and you're going to run the longer screw here. There's a couple pan heads. This isn't the pan head. You're going to run your screw through there like that. Whoop, you know what? We need to throw a washer on there. Throw a washer on. Throw your screw through. I messed that up. Already lied to y'all. Run your screw through so that it's countersunk there. Then run your washer on the other side. Then you want to pay attention to how your flag is going to be orientated. So this one, we are sitting. Does that have a clip on it? Yeah. It's a little different. No, I'm sorry. So it's got a little tab here. That tab is what's going to go up on the board. So your flag, it's going to sit like this. You want that flag to be orientated back like that. And then throw a washer on. And then that lock nut. If you got big hands like me, this stuff kind of, all these little screws and nuts and stuff, they kind of suck. So, and I just took a pair of needle nose. Small Phillips I found worked best, and you're going to want to just tighten this to where, basically, you don't want to over tighten it, but you want the slop to get out of it. So you don't want it to be kind of slopping around, but you want it to move fairly easily. So that's a little tight, I think. So you can see I'm moving, but I don't have any slop in that. Okay. So it's 2 little pre-drilled holes there. This is where you're going to use your panhead screws. Panhead screws will go, and that's countersunk as well too. Panhead screws will go in there. And there's my other one there. The video I watched from Church Tackle said, don't over tighten, but you want everything snug. I mean, that's just because it's plastic, so you just don't want to crack everything. I'm assuming that's why. I mean, that's my opinion. So, all right, so there. Now we got the flag on there. Okay. Now the next thing that I found, well, actually, let's attach this here. So this is the little bar, so that your spring is going to attach to give itself tension. So the way this is going to go on, there's a screw on the bottom here that's holding, there's a weight inside there. So you want to take that screw out. Okay. And then this here is going to go just like that. So you can see on this one how it is. Take the screw out, put that piece there, and then just screw it back in. There's no adjustment. It can only go in the one hole. And screw that back in. Like I mentioned, this is the first time I've never used planer boards. I've never ran planer boards off the boat. That was interesting. So I just missed the hole going into the weight. So it started to bow the plastic out. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I've never, that weight will come loose, it looks like. So you kind of got to watch that. You know, I knew planer boards were a thing, you know, primarily, like I said, for walleye fishing and stuff. And I'd seen some videos and some, you know, guys talking about, you know, using them for crappie. I just don't see a lot. I just don't see them getting used a lot. So I looked into it, and from what I'd seen, you know, the church tackle boards were, in my opinion, what I saw, you know, some of the best boards out there. So that's why I went with these. I know Offshore Tackle has some boards too. A lot of guys like those as well too. So I'm sure they work predominantly the same. But I don't know. I just kind of liked what I seen in their videos and kind of with the product and stuff. So we'll give them a shot. So all right. So now we're at that point there. We've got the bar on the bottom, flag assembled. Next step that I liked to do was, there it is, just because I'm big and clumsy and everything else. So this is that bar that goes through. So you've got a loop on that one end. So you've got this ring here. You're gonna want to put that ring on. And I'm just doing this now because to me it's just easier. You know, like I said, my big goofy hands, it's hard to work with. And then also want to go ahead and get the snap on, the line snap on as well too. All right, so there, now that's assembled there. All right, what else do I got here? There's an eyelet here. And you guys probably aren't even going to be able to see this stuff here. So, got a little eyelet. On the back of the board, there's a little hole there. And one thing I noticed, and I don't know if it makes a difference or not, but the first one I did, I actually took this eyelet and I didn't bury it, but I mean, I put it all the way down. what I didn't like about that in just looking at it was when this bar went through, this bead was kind of hanging up on that. I don't know if it would make a difference or not. So, but anyways, so now that you got that on there, you're going to take this end and you're just going to feed that through just like that. All right, and then you're going to hook this bar on the top hole of the flag. Okay, you're going to hook that through there. Now all that's left is a spring. Take the spring, come from the underneath side, and then just basically pull your spring back to the hole that you want it for the tension. And like I said, I'm going to be fishing crappie, so I'm going to go on that first one there. And there you have it. That's all there is to it. So like I said, as we're trolling along, get a fish, boom, pop it down. Now, I don't know, I'm going to play around with that. It doesn't spring back up. So again, we're learning here. I don't know if that's a thing, if it's supposed to pop back up, but I would assume if it goes down, that means you've got something you need to bring it in anyway. So one other thing too, this clip comes loose, so you're just going to want to tighten that as well too. So that is installing the getting the TX12 mini planers from Church Tackle, getting the flag system on that, and getting it ready to go. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get out this weekend, try to get down to the lake in a couple days, and we'll be using these. So if you like what you saw and you want to follow along with this journey, I'll call it, of planer boards, hit that like and subscribe button. We're gonna be I'm gonna do a series here. So my next videos, series of videos, are all going to be on these planer boards. So we're gonna dive into these with crankbaits. We're also going to fish these doing some long line jig, trolling jigs as well too, pulling some jigs. So I think it's going to be an effective way to fish. So, and we'll do some videos on that precision trolling app on the 50+ tune method. I don't know if the first time going out if I'll play around with that. I may, but we'll see. But yeah, these, I'm looking forward to trying these because I think it's really going to be a game changer. I think it's going to allow me to really hone in my my depth and be able to spread spread my crankbaits out further from the boat. So we'll go over all that. We'll play around with it. But in the meantime, like I said, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell if you want to see the next video come out on learning the art of the technique of planer board fishing. So we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks, guys.